What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. During the last part, we explored a new scenario where Majin Vegeta ended up defeating Boo. And now, that's gonna have some consequences going forward into Dragon Ball Super. Now that both Goku and Vegeta are dead and they're training with Beerus, what's gonna happen with that? And how is Earth gonna defend itself from future threats? Well, we'll be discussing all that and more in this part. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,000 likes. If we hit that, I'll continue with another part to the series. Anyways, let's pick up from here. As I briefly touched upon in the last part, Gohan's gonna actually keep training. I know, this isn't exactly an uncommon thing in What Ifs. It's nothing really groundbreaking and it happens in a lot of them. But I feel it's really important to mention this here because you gotta consider the position that Gohan's in. He does have the responsibility to train here, especially with no Goku and Vegeta being around. Remember in the last part how I mentioned Goku was telling him about this, and Gohan acknowledged it. He's gonna take it seriously. He can't afford to screw up anywhere. He's the strongest person on Earth right now, and the last line of defense for them if anything bad happens. So while it might not exactly be a huge change in my scenarios, in this scenario specifically, it's a very important one to keep note of. But this training doesn't just extend to Gohan, it extends to Goten and Trunks too. They are the next generation of fighters. They need to be trained up, just as well as Gohan was. Maybe they even have the same potential as Gohan. They won't know unless they actually train. Either way though, the two of them are definitely up for it. And as for Gohan and Piccolo, they're gonna have to teach the two. Meaning Gohan's now in the role of teacher, which is strange, but also nice at the same time. It helps him keep an eye on his younger brother, and lets him see that his training's going okay as well as Trunks. As for Goten and Trunks, they want to try and work on Super Saiyan even more, going into Super Saiyan 2 even. Goku, Vegeta, and even Gohan had that. So maybe Gohan could show them the ropes. It will help them grow a lot stronger, and they should be capable of it. That's their next goal right now, and Gohan's glad to help them get there. Of course, he doesn't really use his Super Saiyan forms anymore though. Now with Ultimate, this is mostly what he's focusing on. This is his best form right now, the one that he wants to train with even more. But if he does have to show them Super Saiyan 2, then so be it. That will help them after all. Eventually, this does lead us into Resurrection F. Even without Goku and Vegeta here, this is still gonna happen. Frieza's army seeks out the Dragon Balls, summoning Shenron and reviving their Emperor. Of course, everyone's completely unaware of this until it actually happens. One day, Frieza's army arrives on Earth, ready to attack with Frieza. But this is already a while after the Buu saga happened. The Dragon team feels prepared to counter a threat like this. With all their great training so far, they should be okay. Frieza is powerful, definitely nothing to ignore. And even if he did get stronger, they still feel like they'll be fine. But they're not going to get overconfident. That remains to be seen. They don't know the true extent of Frieza's power. In terms of fighting the Frieza Force, this is really easy. They can do it with their eyes closed. But once Frieza himself steps out, he seems a little bit surprised. There's no Goku and Vegeta here. Their Spawn is here, and then all those other people that he saw before too. But Goku and Vegeta, they're nowhere to be seen. Gohan tells Frieza he's a little late to the party. Goku died a while ago, and as for Vegeta, he died not too long ago, but he's been dead ever since. They're dead? He won't have the chance to kill them. It's frustrating. He's not going to be able to get his revenge, but at least he can kill these guys still. That is something after all, something to quell his anger. I mean, he was going to kill them regardless too, but at least it's something to replace the revenge that he wanted to get against Goku and Vegeta. This shouldn't be too hard either. He can do this in his final form alone. He transforms, and no one's deterred. Well, the humans kinda are, but Piccolo, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks are all okay. They get ready to fight, launching in towards Frieza. These two kids too, he remembers them, or at least he feels like he recognized them. One of them, he looks like that guy that sliced him in half before, and the other one, he's the spitting image of that Saiyan Goku. And as for Gohan, of course he remembers him from Namek. Same for Piccolo. Frieza has a great reason to kill all four of these people, even if he doesn't necessarily know Goten and Trunks that well. All that matters is that they're all gonna die here. This is fine. Even if Goku and Vegeta aren't here, he gets to kill these four, and that counts for something. But something's wrong. Even in his final form, he's not able to counter all of them. Well, he is fighting four of them at once, so maybe that's part of it. But even when he tries to fight Gohan alone, it's not enough. What the hell? He knew that they got stronger in the meantime, just like him, but he didn't think they would get this strong. He grows exceptionally fast. Well, at least he still has a final trump card up his sleeve. He begins to transform, surprising everyone as he's surrounded by a golden aura. Frieza shows off his golden form, ready to destroy everything here. Gohan looks over towards the group. He tells them that he'll handle this. They're concerned for him, but he says to trust him. His power is so far beyond everyone else here that he's really the only one that could fight in this battle. They might just get in the way after all, and he doesn't want them getting hurt. He powers up fully, and Frieza's actually stunned. Gohan draws out all the potential and power that he has within him. Still an ultimate, but not holding back now. He was holding back before? That wasn't his full power? Gohan and Frieza then clash. The great part is, Frieza's already at a disadvantage. He was injured a bit from the fight previously. Before he transformed, his final form alone was enough, so he did face some injuries from that battle. Plus, there is stamina drain with Golden, and it was a pretty major problem in Resurrection F as we saw. And as for Ultimate, Gohan's not going to have this issue. He's using 100% of his power, basically with 100% efficiency. It's great. And at first, Frieza probably would have the upper hand, just in terms of brute strength alone. But as the fight goes on, his injuries, they become more of a factor in this. And his stamina, it continues depleting. While Gohan's still fighting at 100%. But he's not going to screw around and get cocky here. Gohan knows by now that he can't risk that. He can't let the power get to his head. The second he sees an opportunity, he charges up an attack. With Piccolo communicating to him too. Goten and Trunks jump up into the sky, both in Super Saiyan 2. Each of them is on either side of Frieza, launching an attack right in the middle. Frieza guards against the attacks. They do pretty much nothing to him, but Gohan then disappears. It serves as a distraction. He then feels a sharp burning pain in his chest. Looking down, and he sees a laser piercing through it. He follows the trail of it. It goes over to Gohan and Piccolo. Together, the two of them launch a dual Makanko Sappo. Piccolo was already charging his, and Gohan got one charged up pretty quickly. Again, they can't risk it. This is one of the best attacks that they have right now, and with the great precision of it too, it hits Frieza right in the chest. He falls down to the ground, and then Gohan finishes off with a massive Kamehameha. He knows Frieza could survive worse, so he wants to make sure to erase everything of him. And with that, Resurrection F is over. Earth is saved. On Beerus' planet, Goku and Vegeta have been watching. They really did want to intervene here, but Beerus would have forbidden that anyways. Although, they're actually glad at the outcome of this fight. It shows how much everyone's grown, and not just Gohan, but also Goten, Trunks, and all the other fighters too. It's great. They're glad that things are going so well there. They're able to fend off a threat like this, and Frieza's power is nothing to sneeze at. It was actually pretty huge. The fact that they were able to defend Earth with no warning and pretty much no issues, it really shows how much they've grown. They're glad that things went well, but now they need to get back to focusing on their training. This was a brief break because the Sith kind of concerned them. Not that they were going to intervene like I mentioned, but they kind of did want to watch the battle go down, just to make sure things went alright. So what's been up with them by now? I haven't really covered them in this part so far. At this point, they've definitely both gotten Super Saiyan God. I mean, they've trained with Beerus and Whis for a while, and since both of them are dead, they never have to sleep or anything. They basically train 24/7. It's what they love doing most, and they have the benefits of doing so. Knowing Goku and Vegeta, they definitely would take this opportunity since they have it. Training basically non-stop. And also, thanks to being dead, their stamina works differently too. Not only do they just have Super Saiyan God, but they also have Super Saiyan Blue. They definitely would have accessed it by this point, since this is around the time that they showed it off in the main story. And now with greater training and more training, they probably would have unlocked it earlier. And with the lack of having to worry about stamina issues and such, Super Saiyan Blue would probably be way more effective. They were already pretty good with it in canon, but here, they're actually going to be a little bit further along, and they could use it a lot more effectively. Of course, Frieza would have been a great test run for this, but at least they could still train with each other, although they do have a nice challenge coming up. Champa ends up showing up on Beerus' planet. He and Beerus get into an argument over the Super Dragon Balls, and then a tournament is suggested, although this time, they're actually going to avoid the tournament. Why is that? Well, it's because Goku and Vegeta are dead. Champa doesn't really like the idea of them participating, and Beerus decides that if they're not going to participate, there's going to be no tournament, and then Champa says that means he can get the Dragon Balls for himself. But Beerus interjects. They still need to fight for it somehow, and they can't just fight each other because that would be bad. Two God of Destructions fighting, that's incredibly taboo, and it will probably destroy a lot of the universe. They can't afford that. But at the same time, it's not like he's just going to let Champa get the Dragon Balls. He needs to come up with something, and then he has a great idea. And this is where a big divergence from the main story occurs. Well, they could do a tournament, but just with these two. More like a matchup between the two. Champa's interested. What does Beerus mean? Well, he suggests something. And this will be great for Goku and Vegeta training too. The two of them will fight each other. Beerus and Whis will flip a coin, deciding who is who. And that'll be their fighter. Whichever fighter wins, wins for that person. They're basically betting on who's winning in a battle. But Champa's still kind of skeptical. How does he know one of them's not just going to throw the fight for Beerus? That is a fair point. And Beerus tells Champa, also warning Goku and Vegeta. He'll give Champa free rein to erase the fighters if one of them holds back. Champa will know if they're not trying their hardest. The same goes for Beerus too. Not that any of them would throw the battle in Champa's favor. But if either of the Gods of Destruction see that they're holding back, they will be erased. This terrifies Goku and Vegeta, but they are actually up for this challenge. It gives them a motivation to fight all out for once. And this should be a pretty good match. The two of them are around even. Beerus honestly doesn't know which one is stronger, if either. It really seems like they're around the same level. So they flip a coin, and it turns out Vegeta ends up being Champa's fighter, and Goku ends up being Beerus's. This terrifies Vegeta even more because if Champa thinks he's holding back, he'll be erased on the spot. And Vegeta's gonna make sure not to hold back, although they warn Beerus and Champa. They will need to pace themselves at first. Eventually they will get to their full level of power. But as long as they get to pace themselves in this battle, they'll be fine with it. Champa and Beerus allow it. Each Saiyan takes a battle stance, ready to fight each other. Of course, they've fought in the meantime so far. They've been sparring a lot and training together. But this is an all-out battle with actual stakes. They have a reason to try and win here. A true reason to be competitive rather than just some rivalry. The two start fighting in base. And then, it turns into Super Saiyan. Beerus and Champa aren't too impressed, but Beerus tells Champa to wait. These two have godly power. Just give them some time to rev up even more. In Super Saiyan alone, the two of them are pretty much dead even. But then, they begin powering up into Super Saiyan Blue. And it turns out, they're still dead even. Although their power is amazing. Champa can't believe it. They truly do have god powers. The two of them fight, going all out. And it really is a spectacle. Beerus has never seen them fight this seriously. And it's nice to see what level of power they're at right now. Even Vados and Whis are interested. Well, mainly Whis. Vados compliments her brother on his training. And Whis is just glad to see his students doing so well. Goku and Vegeta both compliment their strengths during battle. Not only are they even in power, but they're even in battle prowess too. They both definitely have different fighting styles and different types of strategy, but both of them are just as good as the other. Even if they're different, they're still equal. And the two acknowledge this. Goku tells Vegeta, it really was a great idea to bring him here. Just like he thought, Vegeta still makes the perfect training partner. But Vegeta tells Goku to not sell him short. He's not just a training partner, he's the strongest now. And he's gonna prove this to Goku. Through his strategy, Vegeta tries to figure out a way to win here. He knows that brute strength's not gonna work. But the issue is, whatever techniques and abilities he tries doesn't work against Goku. Because Goku has his own abilities and techniques that are pretty powerful. Instant transmission especially gives him a big advantage, although Vegeta knows how to predict this. He knows how Goku fights by now. And even though he's utilizing instant transmission, Vegeta could predict it, utilizing it to counterattack actually. He tells Goku he shouldn't be so reliant on that, or at least switch things up a bit. The battle continues on, with both still at their full power. And Goku looks like he's about to say something, and Vegeta tells him to spit it out. The two stop mid-battle. Champa and Beerus are confused. Goku explains. He doesn't think he's gone all out yet. Wait, what? Vegeta asks what he means. He has Super Saiyan Blue, that's his full power, right? Well, Goku actually had another idea. It's not something he's tried before, and it's risky. It might kill him in the process. But since he's still dead, and he kinda had experience with this in a different way, maybe this could work. What's he talking about? And Beerus yells out to Goku, well, if he's holding something back, use it now. Stop holding back. And Champa's kinda worried. I mean, the rules are they shouldn't hold back, but if Goku's actually stronger, this will be a problem for him. Well, here goes nothing. Goku begins powering up, and he shouts, Kaioken. He hasn't tried this yet with Super Saiyan Blue. But he already did try this with Super Saiyan for a bit. And again, he still is dead, so this might actually work here. He only goes into Kaioken ×2. But it works. He goes into Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. And now Vegeta sees what he means. Great. Kakarot surpassed him once more. But he's still up for the challenge. Goku doesn't have a full control on this yet. And it is still the first time he's using it, so Vegeta sees an opportunity. He beckons Goku, telling him to give him everything he has. And the two launch towards each other once more. The fight continues, becoming an even bigger spectacle. But with this great boost in power, speed, and everything else, even if it's only a 2x boost, it's still more than enough to widen the gap, and Goku ends up winning against Vegeta. That was a pretty thrilling fight, and of course Beerus is elated. But to be nice to his brother, he will still wish for Earth back in Universe 6, but Champa's definitely going to come back here for the Dragon Balls for himself though. Of course he's going to have to wait a year, but at least he got this out of it, and it kind of was fair. Damn, now that he thinks about it, they could have just went with the tournament. He probably would have won with someone like Hit on his team. But either way, that's all settled now. But before he leaves, they have a visitor. It's Zeno. He's been watching, and even though this wasn't a true tournament, he's interested. A battle like this would be a good idea for something to watch in the future. He'll have to think about it more, but watching mortals fight like this, it's thrilling. Beerus and Champa are terrified that they're gonna get chewed out for doing this battle, but no, Zeno actually liked it. Although before I end this part, there is one more thing I want to mention. Some of Frieza's forces, they weren't entirely defeated. Frieza himself was killed, and a lot of the soldiers were defeated. But there are still remains of the Frieza force out there. And some of them are still set on revenge. Some escaped Earth, and now they're out in space doing hell knows what. But we'll save that for the next part. This is where we'll leave off for now. So, what did you guys think about this video? And what do you think's gonna happen next time? Leave any thoughts in the comments below. I'd like to see what you guys think. As always, if you like this video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit that like goal so we get another part of the series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to be notified about any future uploads on my channel, including more parts of the series or any other videos like it. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.